Hey man, what's going on? It's Cool Water, the digital dope man, coming to you live with another episode in the Barroom Chats podcast, where we talk about topics in the area of entertainment, politics, business, culture, education, and health. It's the Barroom Chats podcast. You can find us on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com under Barroom Chats or Cool Water Tracks. Today, I wanted to briefly, and I do mean briefly, because I try not to follow too much madness to keep my mind at peace, but the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, Red Table Talk about August Alsina's previous relationship with her that she finally came clean about after he spilled his guts about being in an intimate sexual relationship with her some years ago. And then that transcended over into her coming clean, and then her and Will talking about that situation on the Red Table Talk TV show. One of the things that I had to snicker and giggle about was August Alsina's stupidity and ignorance as a young player in the game, as they say, spilling all the milk, telling all this business about the woman he was fooling with. Because now he got loose lips, so, you know, he's going to be pegged probably more than likely by other women in his age bracket or a little older that may actually want to fool with him, and they are not going to be real receptive because they don't know if he's going to tell all their business. But what I really thought about was the fuckery and the bullshit that Jada brought to the table. And the shit that her and Will Smith continue or have previously engaged in, which was an open marriage. It was alleged because, again, you run up on them, they'll tell you, no, we just have marital problems. But it's been alleged because they was a Hollywood couple for some time that they had an open marriage and they would dabble between different people's partners, swinging and whatnot. And all of this emotional sexual interaction is supposed to be normal. Now, Jada herself said that she was going through some things. Her and Will, as they were talking, was talking about they had a period when they kind of separated. And he was like, get the hell on, yada, yada, yada. I ain't fooling with the bull. And then she needed, as she claimed, to fix something or someone that was part of her issue. But if you look at the relationship from a different angle, August Alsina might have been 23. She might have been 43. So she 20 years in the game. She know her body. He 20 years her junior. He don't know his body. He don't know what he's capable of. And you dealing with an older woman, because I've dealt with plenty of them. And their whole objective is to educate and school the man. They don't have no intention on really being with you because they know you a youngster and you got to grow and develop. But it was a fling. It was interesting. She probably liked the jackrabbit because he fucked wild and rambunctious, and it was new energy. But the mental dysfunction of Black America's relationships continue to surface because we still can't seem to get it together when it comes to building relationships with one another and building healthy families. So if you look at the dichotomy, the whole structure of the Smith family, a lot of that shit's dysfunctional. Period. The kids is dysfunctional. I think Jaden had an issue behind that. Allegedly. He moved out. Her daughter is supposedly taking, some explicit, provocative pics given to her, shot by an older man, and she just a youngster, just a kid. Will Smith, in my personal opinion, done some fuckery. Like, I still don't know how you do the movie 6 Degrees of Separation and you crawl in the bed with a white boy with your ass hanging out. And y'all doing the homo shit on screen. And that's supposed to be shit. I guess Academy Award winner, Oscar worthy. I don't know how you determine that. But all of this dysfunction has been continuing to plague, has been continuing to rear its ugly head. And then you hear about this shit. And then guess what? It's deemed normal in most people's eyes. But then when you start talking about building family structure, and I'm talking about a whole family. I ain't talking about no fragmented, mentally disabled, mentally dysfunctional people. You know what I'm saying? You get that. You get the shit you have here. So Will and Jada, in my personal opinion, is the mental dysfunction of black male and female relationships in America. Period. This is the dysfunction. This is the norm. This is what you see. This is the reasoning behind somebody who may be a blue collar dude, who a solid dude, and he want to get with a chick that's rambunctious, wild, obscure. He can't get with her because he ain't exciting enough. He's not into a lot of the BS. He's not swinging from trees and spanking people on their ass with whips and chains, because these people's minds have been infiltrated with the disease and the BS that has been, passed on from one generation to the next. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I guess Will feel like he soul ties, but to me, it makes Will Smith look like a sucker because he allowed a lot of this shit to go down. He might have been like, F you, get out my face, I ain't putting up with it. But he didn't put his foot down from the perspective of some men, because you cut the shit off. You cut that broad off. You get rid of that broad. All that hanging on. You know what I'm saying? Hoping we. Nah, man, you cut that motherfucker off. You cut her ass off. Go on out there. If you want to play with them boys, go out there. If you into the nonsense you went to, that's cool. Be into that shit by yourself. But what you not going to do is bring it to me. Now, of course, when you listen to him talk, he wasn't having it. But in the end of the day, you hear about a lot of the mishaps between them. And it's like, man, come on. Come on, bruh. Cut that. You say, cut that disease off. Cut that out the system. And then you see the dysfunction in the kids. So you have to question, well, who the parents? And why are the parents allowing a lot of this nonsense? And then now you got somebody like Jade, who out here really trying to, he's trying to come into his manhood. And he's trying to shake a lot of that nonsense that he came up under. And you see him trying to become his own man and really set a foundation for himself. But he got to go and reprogram himself to really fix some of the ills that he may be carrying. And to me, Jada just full of shit. I like Jada, but I just think she a full of shit type broad, period. She one of them broads you got to check her quick. Because if she see her opening, she gonna manipulate it if you ain't smart enough, because this is how her nature seems to come off to me. You got to cut her quick before she get to feeling some kind of something, like she, gonna be able to make something happen, man, with you and get over on you. So I think this, not to be long-winded, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, is just another piece and fragmented, mentally insane portion of black male and female relationships in America. Hence the reason the destruction of the black family is what it is today. The destruction of the black family is what it is today. Because we got this type of nonsense continuously rearing its ugly head. And then you don't see the Michelle and Obama relationships too often. You don't really hear about the relationships between granddaddy and grandmama often. Them days is kind of old. Them days is kind of paid out now. You know, if they stay married for more than 2 years, that's considered a successful marriage. You see, if the kids grow up and they're not fundamentally mentally insane, then you know you've done an amazing thing. But most of them come off and grow up underneath the nonsense, so it causes a lot of problems. And I think we have to take a serious look at what Will and Jada presented and brought to the red table, because this is the foundation, or the blueprint, the skeleton that have been laid by some couples. And being that they're celebrities in that top of the food chain, some people may implement that quality of life in their own life, thinking they can do it the way they did it, and turn around and it be a problem. They in Hollywood. They in there with them demons. You know, they doing shit that you ain't gonna, you know, you don't hear about Ice Cube and Kim. They got a 25, 30-year marriage. You don't hear about none of the fuckery. Because why? He already made it known. Y'all not going to be in my business. And you're not coming up in my house to see how I'm living. And whatever me and my wife discuss, that's private. Even my family don't know, which are some of the things that he said. So their relationships looks whole. Their children look whole. They look solid. But then you got these two clowns sitting in front of the red table telling all their business, and everybody already know the story on some of the shit that y'all was doing way back in the day. And then, you know, people got to implement, or people like, well, damn, you know, they had an open marriage. I should try it. Man, ain't nobody with that bullshit, man. Ain't nobody with that, man. Look, I'm Cool Water, the digital dope man. Check me out at the blog, ishiphopdead.com. Look for me at the website, thedigitaldopeman.com. And, you know, look for some of these other podcasts, these blogs. You know, share them out. Let's build, let's rap, let's talk. And, you know, get at me. You know what I'm saying? Peace and stay blessed. Holla.